Family Promise is a family homeless shelter, but when you think about shelter, you're thinking of a static building where families each have a bedroom and a cafeteria. We're very different. We're a dynamic program. We're a network of congregations who each choose a few weeks of the year to host families, and together they make a 52-week-a-year schedule to make sure that 365 days a year families have a place to go, from the first date they're homeless to until they find housing.
What's great about the Family Promise model is that there's all these churches around the city that sit vacant for most of the week. They're heated in the winter, they are cooled in the summer, they're big buildings typically with lots of space, lots of room, and they're not being used. So it allows us to put the space to really great use.
We're grateful to the Realtor Foundation because they've supported us for 10 years. At first, they bought us the rollaway beds that helped this program keep going, but now it's turned into a support that's more sustainable. They fund our aftercare program, which is home-based case management that follows a family and walks with them for up to 2 years after leaving our shelter. Because of the Realtor Foundation's support of aftercare, 88% of families on December 31st of last year that left our shelter in the previous 2 years had still retained housing.
I don't think anybody ever expects it, because it can happen to anyone. It can happen to people, like my husband worked his job for 10 years, and we were stable. We lived in the same house for that entire 10 years. It can be anything. Like mine was a natural catastrophe. Other people, it's financial, and it can come out of nowhere. Everybody that in that one case is completely equal, because you all start at the very, very bottom. And it doesn't matter if you came from the bottom or you came from the top. You're all going to face the exact same experiences.
Tara and Joseph's story is dramatic. Joseph worked at a plant in Oklahoma, and when an F3 tornado took out the plant, he lost his job, and so they decided, where are their jobs? Indianapolis. And so they came here to find another plant or warehouse. They had job prospects. He actually got an interview at a warehouse, a soft drink company, and he had to walk 5 hours to that interview and 5 hours back because they didn't have any extra money for bus passes. When the money for the hotel ran out, they called Family Promise, and he just needed to start employment. He actually got the job.
We were in the Family Promise program for 3.5 weeks, which is really fortunate. But my husband worked 12-hour shifts 6 days a week overnight, which meant, well, I got to sleep in a nice bed at a church that allowed us to stay there. He was at work.
After just 3 weeks of working at this company, they saved up enough for first month's rent. We covered most of their security deposit that they were lacking, and they moved out. Now, living in their duplex for 7 months, they have goals again, goals of home ownership, goals of better employment, better education, and even buying a car. At Family Promise, we're especially inspired by Tara. Given her upbringing, she went through foster care when she lost her parents at 12 years old. She and Joseph haven't known stability until adulthood, and now they never want to have their children go through what they went through. So when they're starting to have dreams of home ownership like they are, and college degrees and better employment, it's just inspiring, and we're glad we can be with them for 2 years to do that.
Well, the aftercare program for me and my family has been really important in making us feel like if in any case we needed some support, whether it be emotional or financial or even physical in some ways, that they're going to be there no matter what. It's knowing that even though you're out on your own, we're not alone, and that we can still accomplish things. And we always could, but there's always going to be someone behind us making sure that we get there in the end.
For everyone who's supported the Realtor Foundation, thank you. When there's a family that's moved out, and they don't move out with a lot in their bank account, and they find a new challenge or a new obstacle in their life, you've made us able to support them through it and make sure that they retain housing. Thank you for that.